Click it. Hey guys, and welcome back to What Are You Reading for this week? You guys all know how it works. It's your favorite segment of the week. You guys let me know what you're reading, and I'll let you know what we're reading here at the Better Reading Office. And yeah, we can just talk about all our favorite books. So yeah, write in the comments. I'll look through your comments, and we'll just chat about books, what's on our TBR list, and what books we're looking forward to reading, and what books we've been enjoying reading. So first up, I'm going to start with Fire and Bones by Kathy Reichs. This was the book I finished reading last week, and I found this really interesting. I think it's just kind of like a different take on like the mystery, the crime, thriller kind of genre. So it's about Tempe Brennan. She is a forensic anthropologist, so it's kind of her job to examine victims in different crime cases and their remains and figure out who they are and what's happened to them. So this one is specifically about some arson investigations. And yeah, so Tempe Brennan, she partners with a telejournalist, Ivy Doyle, and they kind of come together to figure out the connections between two arson cases in Washington, D.C. So I really liked it because it was just such a different way to view like a mystery and a crime, and definitely recommend giving that one a read if you haven't already. So I'm going to start reading some comments. So we have Carolyn. She says she's read The Queen of Poisons by Robert Thorogood, Happiness Falls by Angie Kim, and reread the marvelous Elizabeth and Her German Garden by Elizabeth von Arnim. Wow, it sounds like you've been doing a lot of reading and you're quite busy, but I love that. I'm the same, Carolyn. I always have lots of books on the go. Jessica says, I'm reading Prison Book Club by Anne Walmsley, and it's very interesting. Oh, I haven't read that one, but that sounds intriguing. Not sure if it's actually set within a prison, but I read a book a few weeks ago where I think it was called Outbreak, but about a girl who's in juvie, and I thought it was really interesting to read a book set within a prison. So definitely will add that one to my TBR. Joe Bell. Hi, Joe Bell. Good to have you back this week. She's reading The Tuscan Daughter by Tessa Harris. Oh, based on a true story. I always find it so intriguing reading books based on true stories, just because sometimes when you're reading a book, you're like, oh, there's no way this could ever happen. But to find out it's a true story, it just blows your mind. So let me know what you prefer. Do you like reading books based on true stories, or do you like reading completely fictional books? Alita is reading just The Nicest Couple, Mary Kubica, a bit of a different thriller. Ooh, let me know how. I love it. I love thrillers, but I love when it's a bit different and new. Lynn Firth, All Falls, Miranda July. Nicola is reading Tilda is Visible by Jane Tara, her favourite in our office. We love that book, and we love Jane. Dee is reading The Fury by Alex Michaelides. And Jane is reading Family Secrets by Liz Breisky. Oh, and Marg is reading The Lie of a Ladies' Choir by Sandy Docker. Yeah, and has enjoyed all her other books. Yeah, she has a lot of great books. And then Janine is currently reading Diving Falling, a better reading preview. Interesting take on family relationships, grief. Thanks to the preview copy. Oh, we love that. We love a good segue. We know how Cheryl likes a segue. So yes. So if you don't know what preview is, you should definitely check it out. It's a great way to be able to read advanced reading copies of books and get to read the book before everybody else does. I think that's really cool to, get your hands on a book and know that barely anybody else has read this and you're one of the first readers to do it. So if you want to be able to do that, if you sign up to our newsletter every week on Wednesdays, they come out, and then they'll give you a link and you can apply to win a preview book. And then on Thursdays, we'll let you know if you want it. You have about 6 weeks to read the book. Write a short review. We give you tips on how to do it, and that's it, as simple as that. So definitely recommend giving our preview, a look at, and sign up if you're interested. So speaking about preview, we've got some books that we've also been reading up the preview for this week. So if you signed up, you could be winning a copy of this book. So the first one is Prize Catch by Alan Carter, and this is a quest for the truth becomes a race for survival in this pacey new crime novel from award-winning author Alan Carter. So that's another one to add to your TBR. And then let's look at some more comments. Joy Bell talking about the book says it's love based on a true. She loves books based on true story with lots of history. Yeah, I love that too. I love historical fiction, definitely one of my favorite categories. So it's based on a true story, but still got the fiction in there. I love the mix of that. So, yeah. Cassie is about to start Butcher by Joyce Carol Oates. Oh, and Natasha is just starting The Creeper by Margaret Hickey, and she's completely hooked. Joy Bell saying Mark Freeman's a great author and a great read. Love that. Joy, loved Where is Charlotte Salter, now reading Down the Track by Stella Quinn. I like a mixture of true stories and fiction and historical fiction. Yep, definitely with you there, Joy. Judy is reading The Younger Wife by Sally Hepworth. Emma says, hi, Emma, good to have you here. Natasha, Windsurf, such a wild read. And Melissa is reading The Good Woman's Guide to Making Better Choices by Liz Foster. Oh, another great author. So I'll give you another book recommendation. This one is called When It Rains by Dave Warner. And this is a procedural crime book, and it features Dan Clement. So he's a detective, and he's in lots of the other books by Dave Warner. So if you like those books, definitely give this one a read if you want to see one of your favorite recurring characters come back. So a police sergeant is beaten up and a woman is brutally assaulted, and he thinks that the same two suspects are behind both crimes. So it's trying to figure out that link, figure out what's happening. So if you want to know if that's actually what happened, if it's the same suspects behind both crimes or not, definitely give this one a read. So Dave Warner, When It Rains. Okay. And then, there's a technical difficulty now. I'm sorry, I just lost the screen, but we're back. Want to talk about our podcast. So here at Better Reading, we have a podcast where Cheryl interviews authors and not only talks about their books, but talks about what inspires them, their life, how they've come to be an author. So I definitely recommend giving the podcast a listen. It's on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. You can find it on our website, and there'll be a link. I'll just put that there. One of the ones that Cheryl did this week was with Genevieve Gannon, and her book Inheritance sounds so good. As soon as I read the blurb, I added this straight to the top of my TBR. So it's a family drama that explores the possibilities and dangers of designing the perfect child. So I think that's so interesting, the idea that you can, test your babies, you can design your own child, but at what cost? It sounds great, but is it really as good as it sounds? So yeah, definitely interesting. Definitely go give the podcast a listen to when it comes out. So stay tuned for that. And then another book that was featured on the podcast that is coming out is You Are More Than What You Eat by Dr. Emma Beckett. She was in the office today. Loved her, so lovely. And she just has so much knowledge and a really interesting take on eating and food and your relationship with food. So it's our relationship with food is broken, but Dr. Emma Beckett is here to help us repair it. So her take on diet culture and how that's not the best idea, but how to, have a good relationship with food and how to be healthy. So when that comes out, give that a listen and definitely read the book. And I would just like to shout out Dr. Emma. She came in with the beautiful dress that had her book cover all over it. And I loved that dress. So go check out our Instagram if you want to see what the dress looked like. We loved it here. Okay. Where are we up to? Micah is reading The Seven Sisters by Lucinda Riley. And she says, hi, Micah, good to have you here. Christine is currently reading Cutter's End by Margaret Hickey. She had the privilege of meeting her last Thursday night. She's amazing. Oh, that sounds so exciting. I love when I get to meet my favorite authors. It's always just so cool to see them in real life, put a face to the name. So yeah, tell us more about that event and how it was. And other people, let me know if you've got any events coming up where you get to meet authors or any experiences with meeting your favorite authors. I'd love to know. Sandra is reading Voices in the Dark by Fleur MacDonald. Emma is currently reading Love Unleashed by Melanie Sawad. So good. And Olivia is reading All the Colors of the Dark by Chris Whitaker. And Meryl is reading Lying Beside You by Michael Robotham. Oh, we actually had Michael Robotham in the office this week. We did a special event with him because it's 20 years of publishing for him. So we did a Authors on Authors live event where we had a live audience with him and Danuka McKenzie. I actually have some of their books here. So we've got Michael Robotham's Storm Child, one of the most popular books at the moment. Definitely give it a read, but just Michael Robotham, the way that he understands crime and thrillers and everything around it. He's been writing for 20 years and his books just keep getting better and better. And I just love the sound of this book. So definitely on my TBR, go give it a read. And then Januka Mackenzie, another great author. I think this is her third book, Tipping Point. And it was just so interesting to listen to their conversation. So that will be coming soon. But we've got, I think, 4 episodes up now on YouTube. So Oliver's just going to play a little sneak peek from our latest episode.
Yeah, and I think when you have that microcosm of community, then you have, both of us are writing crime thrillers, so something bad happens, and how how the community responds to that.
I'm writing my new one too, and the way that I write, I don't know if you're the same, but I never know who the killer is till about 50,000 words, or till roughly about, so it creeps up on me. So I think those characters and that mix of community is so interesting to write about. Do you?
I don't know about you, but I think it's so cool how she was saying that she doesn't know who the killer is until 50,000 words in. I just love how that we get taken on the journey reading the book, but the author also gets taken on the journey writing the book, and they don't necessarily know how it's going to end up, but it evolves with them. And I think that's really cool. And something I love listening to is for all the author and authors episodes. I think Michael was talking about in his about how it's like spending, an extended amount of time with your best friend when he's writing the book, and he spends all this time with the main characters, especially Evie and Stormchild. And I think that's just so really cool. But we also want to know, who do you want to see in authors and authors? Who are your favorite authors? Who would you love to see featured on the YouTube channel? So let us know in the comments. Nicole is listening to, I think, the same book. It's great. Sarah is reading Mythology by Stephen Fry, and Kay is reading The Radio Hour by Victoria Perman. I'm loving all your book recommendations. Keep them coming. We always love, after What Are You Reading is over, to go back onto the Facebook Live and to read through the comments and note down all the books that we want to read. So definitely keep on suggesting them. Something else I wanted to talk to you about is if you are in need of more book recommendations, we do have this What Are You Reading every Thursday at 2 p.m. But another thing that we've started to do is our book pick videos. So on the YouTube, we'll talk about some of our favorite books, and we'll give you recommendations and explain the book a bit. So if you ever in need of more book recommendations, definitely go check it out. It's on our YouTube and the link's there. So if you want a quick one to watch, we've got YouTube shorts as well, or just quick fire recommendations. But if you want to know a bit more about the books, you can check out the whole length video. Getting some suggestions coming through from authors and authors. Mark says she would enjoy Tanya Blanket on the podcast. Nicole says Leanne Lovegrove's author, and Fiona MacArthur author, and Susan Mackie author. And Janine says she would love to see Marcus Zuzak and Fiona McIntosh. I agree. I would love to see Marcus Zuzak. I know this book has been out for a long time, but I'm still just such a huge fan of The Book Thief. I've been learning German since year 7, so I do love books that are set in Germany. And when they add a little German into the book, I love it. So definitely a fan of that book. Marcus says the book is very interesting and many more books in the series, so I love that too. That's what I want to talk about is, do you love going into a world of books and just reading one book and then being done with it? Or do you love when there's lots of different books, when there's 10 books or 5 books in a series, so you can keep on reading it, never ending? What do you prefer? Do you prefer to read standalone books? Do you prefer to read books in series? I think a favorite of mine is when the author writes books that are set in the same world. So it's not necessarily the same people in each book, but they overlap and they have the same characters, but each book is based on a different character and their story. But you see, once you finish reading that book, you can see how they continue on in the next book, even if it's not focused on them. So yeah, that's definitely one of my favorite things, reading books. Okay, let's see. What else do we have to talk about? Authors, YouTube. Oh, yeah. So I'm sure you've heard about this before, but we've got a great new service called Better Ask Cheryl. You all know Cheryl Arkle. We love her here at Better Reading. She's just so great. She has so much knowledge. She's been in the publishing industry for so long and just I'm in awe of how much she knows, and she just knows all the tips and tricks in the book. So if you are an aspiring author, if you're maybe already published a few books, but you just want to, get a bit of edge in the industry, you can book a one-on-one session with Cheryl, 45 minutes via Zoom. And you can just ask whatever questions you want, and she can guide you and give you all the advice. So better ask Cheryl, definitely recommend. You can find that on our website. The link's in the comments there, but definitely recommend booking that with her if you would love a good chat with Cheryl and to get all her advice. Some more comments. Yvonne says she's reading Gone by Midnight by Candace Fox, third in the series, Crimson Lake and Redemption Point. Candace Fox is another one of our favorite authors here in the office. Christine says she does love to read a good series. I think I agree with you there, because sometimes I'm so sad when a book ends and it's just kind of sad it's over, and I'm like, oh, I miss it so much. So when another book comes out in the series, it's so exciting to get back and delve deeper into that world. Marg also says she loves series. The Seven Sisters series was some of her favorite books. I haven't heard of that one, but I'll have to give it a read. Thank you, guys. Oh, Nicole said she just did a review on The Girl with No Reflection by Kesha Chow, which was great. Yeah, that was another one of our preview books. I think that was a YA book. So with our preview, it's not just for adults, it's also for young adults and kids. So if you have kids yourself and you want some books for them to read, you can definitely sign up for the kids previews. We've had some great ones recently. I think it was 18,000 Holes in the Universe. The Girl with No Reflection was also YA. We had Last Seen Online. So if you need any recommendations for your kids, definitely check out our kids and YA page, and there's lots of previews for them as well. So preview is for everyone, which I love. I think we should really, get your kids reading when young. It's such an enjoyable thing, and highly recommend. And then Christine Dudley, Stephen King's The Dark Tower was an amazing series. Good recommendation. So I think that's it for today. We've spoken about heaps of books. We'll see you back next week, 2 p.m. What are you reading? Thanks for all your comments. I'm going to go reread them all now and write down and add to my TBR list, which is ever growing. But thanks for chatting with me, and we'll see you next week.